Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to the True Audio Podcast. We have a special one today. I've been thinking about this for quite a while. It's like every time winter comes around and then the holiday festive spirit comes around, I get kind of in this like special nostalgic mood. So I thought the perfect thing for this first podcast would be talking about my top 10 nostalgic games. Now, it's not just going to be with me. I actually have another guest with me. He's my coworker. I currently work with him at Best Buy. And hey, yeah. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, bro?
Man. Hi. My name's Jeef Gaming, and I'm just a borderline meme.
Yeah.
So
See,
that's all you need to know.
that's all you're going to be hearing during this podcast is this nut button, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it's gonna be. Just one big joke. That's all it is.
Yeah.
All it is.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Jeef. I will call you
Uh,
GFA.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, whatever. I'll respond.
GFA?
So I guess just a few things about myself with my internet persona. I am actually a streamer myself on twitch.tv/Hefferson Gaming. I'm just kidding. Jeef Gaming is my name on there. Sometimes you'll be able to find me. Right now, I've just been kind of iffy on when I go live. Just haven't really had a lot of time
I get that.
to go and do all that, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Currently, going to be hopefully doing hopefully some new streaming setup stuff next year, but that's kind of what I'm waiting on to do for more streaming stuff. But anyway, just kind of a big nerd, love computer kind of stuff and all that. So yeah, I'm ready and excited about my nostalgic games.
Oh yeah, nostalgic. So I want to expand on something real quick.
Yeah.
When you talked about expanding a little bit on your live streaming platform, are you wanting to actually make that like a career, or do you want to make that something on the side?
No, I mainly just want to get more into doing a lot more charity stuff, to be honest with you, because
Okay.
the main thing that I only ever really do for charity stuff is St. Jude Play Live, which is in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the biggest event I always do every year for charity wise, and I just kind of want to. And mainly as well as expanding is to make my content somewhat better because unfortunately my computer is about 5 years old now
Okay.
and I need an upgrade. So there's not really a way for me to be able to show 4K gaming
4K
on
quality
my
content.
really bad computer. So I'm hoping sometime next year I might be able to get an upgrade and hopefully be able to show some stuff a little better. But
Well,
we'll just have to wait and see.
well, I definitely am supporting this 100%. With the
Yeet.
St. Jude and everything, yeah. With the
Yep.
St. Jude and everything, I know that's something that people dream of doing. Is like
Hmm.
doing a charity live stream, or just a live stream in general to actually back up a good cause.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely. There's
yeah.
a lot of them out there that are really good that I would really love to be able to help out for
hmm
sure.
Like the biggest one I think I really want to get into is like cystic fibrosis. That's the one
Oh
that
yeah,
I really want to get
that's a
into.
good one. That's a good
Yeah. What about you? Which one do you think that you really want to get to?
one. Ooh, I mean, probably something that's really close to me. I know that St. Jude is really important, but I think probably another one that's like super important would probably be something to help out with people like facing depression, suicidal thoughts, and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. There's a couple of them out there
hmm
that I definitely want to help out with them. So for sure.
I feel that definitely. Well, we're not going to get into a sad kind of moment. We're going to get into a really good moment. We're going to talk about these top 10 nostalgic games.
Now hold on a minute
Oh,
before we get into the top tens.
all right. What
This
was
is
that?
in no list in particular,
Nope.
not in any order whatsoever.
Nope. And it's not
These
like a favorite, to least favorite like that.
No, man, we just found 10 that we love and maybe some honorable mentions because I found a couple more than just 10 that I think
Oh,
that are very nostalgic to me at least.
okay. I'm really excited to hear this because, to be honest, I
So,
have three honorable mentions.
nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be
Nice.
really good.
So,
So Jeff,
do,
why don't you go ahead and be my guest and kick it off, eh?
yeah, I guess so. I guess the one I'll start off with is a classic from the 90s, 1996 to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
The name is called, and I kid you not on this one, Boogerman. It I know it sounds stupid, but it is an actual 2D platformer game that was created in the 90s.
And I was kidding
On
when I was really thinking that you were kidding when you told me about this, but I actually looked it up. This is an actual game.
Yes, it is an actual game. It was developed on the Sega Genesis and later on the Nintendo SNES.
Really?
Yes, it's more cleaner on the SNES, but it's more disgusting on the Sega Genesis. So the actual worlds are, if you want to get a true grasp of like my actual humor, this game right here is where it started. We have worlds called Flagellant Swamps, Sewer City, the Pits, Boogerville, Mucus Mountains, Nasal Caverns, and the last world, which is called Pus Palace. All right. So I wanted to do this just so you can actually get a grip of the story, and maybe if you wanted to actually delve into the game yourself. It's like I said, it's a really, really repulsive game, but it's really funny.
Hey, don't hold back.
Never look back. So this is the actual story of the game.
Okay.
One dark and stormy evening, the civic-minded Professor Stinkbomb was working in his lab where he was secretly building a machine that would save the world from pollution by transporting it to a place he called Dimension Excrement. That same evening, eccentric millionaire Snotty Ragsdale paid a visit to the lab to investigate this project and find out how such a thing was possible. He was not too sure about the machine's purpose. After activating the machine, Ragsdale inhaled a cloud of pepper through his nose, causing him to let out a mighty sneeze. The power of the sneeze broke the machine, opening the portal. Just then, a mysterious giant arm popped out of the portal and stole the machine's main power source. In response to this danger, Snotty rushed into the men's restroom and changed to his alter ego, the mighty Boogerman, and jumped into the portal and to pursue the arm to learn the reason for the theft it had committed. You want to know the main enemy's name is?
Can you please tell me this? I would need to hear this.
Booger Miser is his name. Yes, and in this game as well, these are your power-ups. You have to burp, fart, pick your nose, and flick the boogers at your enemies. And the enemies are all gross-based. I promise you that. It's great. If you ever want to, go look up gameplay. It's great.
Oh my god, this just seems like it's funny because I did see this was going to be played on a live stream SGDQ. Have you heard of them? Yeah, it was speedrun.
Run it. However you do the enunciation. Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped in for like a quick second and saw it. I was just like, oh, this is interesting. Kind of gross, but interesting.
Yeah, gross, but interesting. Indeed. But it's really great. It honestly really is. So you definitely want to check it out for sure. If you really want to learn like some people's like potty humor, this was the game. So.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That is great. All right.
Yeah, it's like I said, I love the game. I really do.
I need to look into it more when I get off this. But either way, so my first one I kind of wanted to start with was something that I hold really dear to me, which is Mario Party 7. I talk a lot about this game. A lot about it. There's a reason why. I talk a lot about it. So when I was younger, long story short, my parents had a few financial problems, so we would stay at our friend's house for like a day or 2 days, sometimes even 5 days, just so they can get stuff done, around the place. Yeah. So what they had was they introduced me to the GameCube, and that was when they actually showed me Mario Party 7.
Nice.
Which was actually my intro or entrance into Nintendo gaming. So I absolutely loved it, and I remember me being specific in playing that game. my person that I played in there, or my character, was Boo. I always played Boo.
Oh yeah,
I love
nice.
Boo. I always tried to imitate his laugh. I can't do his laugh now. What is it? I
That's
can't do his
great.
laugh. I will not.
No, I don't. No, I wouldn't even dare to try that.
Yeah,
No way.
Devin, edit me laughing here. See, like that. See, I told you I could do it. So,
yeah, good. Great job. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you. But the reason I think this one is unique out of most of them is just one specific can't speak.
Come on.
Specific thing are the orbs inside of the
Orbs.
game.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So, for people who haven't played Mario Party, who are you, first of all? Second of all,
what? I've played Mario Party. Come on now.
No, of course. You know, I'm just saying for the people who haven't played it. But for the people who haven't played it, Mario Party 7 specifically, in each map, you'll go around the map and you'll collect orbs. Now, orbs, each orb had like a different kind of thing that you could do with them. You had the mushroom orb that will give, 2 dice blocks. Then you had the flutter orb that will appear and fly you straight to where the star is. And then my absolute favorite orb was the Mr. Blizzard orb. If an opponent landed on it, he or she will lose every orb that they had. Now,
oh yeah, that was devastating.
Yeah. Now, why was that my favorite? Because I'm a really competitive guy.
Oh, you gotta knock out their orbs. You know what I mean? Gotta get them.
That's how I get the advantage. I have to take them out of the competition. If they have orbs, they have a chance of getting my star, and I don't want that to happen.
Now, you know the thing is with those orbs too is that they're all color coded.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them can be traps, some of them can work on you, some of them work on your opponents, and some of them are special. So that's why you see some of them different colored wise. Like I think mushrooms orb is like green. I know I think flutter was like green. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Blizzard, your favorite one, was like red because it's a trap.
Yeah. And then I know that each specific character, they had their orbs for them specifically. Like Mario and Luigi, they have fireball orbs.
Yes.
Princess
I
Peach
do remember
Daisy.
those.
Yeah. They had. Oh, I hated the fireball orbs so much, dude. I was about to get. All right. Speaking of the fireball orb, I was literally one space away from the. Excuse you. So I was literally one space away from the star, and then here comes Mario right behind me with his fireballs. Oh, nope. I'm one coin away from it. He lands in the space near me. He's just laughing at me and everything.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah. But the magic orb, Boo, since I play him, uses a powerful magic to turn invisible and double your dice block rolls for 2 turns.
Yeah.
It's kind of OP. It's kind of OP. But, yeah.
So I'll follow up with your Mario Party. Now, the cool thing about a lot of the Mario Parties is that they have a story behind them too. Mm-hmm. I believe with Mario Party 7, yours was like I think like a vacation where you actually went vacationing to different like worlds and everything, which was actually kind of cool. I really like that theme.
Yeah.
But my nostalgic game. I actually did another Mario Party as well, so I won't go into too much explanation on it since mostly you've already done that. My nostalgic Mario Party game that I really liked was Mario Party 4. That was my actual first one that I got into.
Okay.
So the Nintendo GameCube was my first ever console I've ever owned. My actual introduction into Nintendo gaming was actually on the NES, but I'll explain that a little later. Okay. But one of the first few games that I actually did own and I played with my older sister all the time was Mario Party 4. And me and her were always competitive. Like she was almost as good as I was with some of these mini games and actually being on the board and everything. And the story behind Mario Party 4 is that it's a birthday party. It's like celebrating everybody's birthday that was everything like that. So they had this big gigantic gift, and pretty much everybody got presents and such. Which, like I think, Toad had a party board, Koopa had a party board, Shy Guy had a party board, and all that kind of stuff. So it was very like birthday kind of celebration kind of themed behind it, which was actually kind of cool. Even Bowser had one too, which was actually pretty. I liked Bowser's map in Mario Party 4 better than I liked any of the other ones.
Really?
I won't lie. It's very tricky and it's very interesting too. It's actually really really cool. If you ever have a chance, check out that board specifically.
Mm-hmm. So
So,
speaking about Bowser's board, it's funny because I guess this is where I can put like an honorable mention is the Mario Party for the DS. That one,
the DS one.
yeah, that one was really cool because um, they were the lore behind that they changed and they were small. They were small characters.
Mm.
Uh, and when you mentioned the Bowser map, they were actually in a pinball machine with Bowser's,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oof.
that was actually the most unique thing I've ever seen in a while for like a game.
Nice.
For them to actually get shrunk and being put into like a pinball machine and actually play it the map through that way. So that's why I think it's pretty cool. I
So what
definitely
you're
gotta check
telling
that.
so what you're telling me, other than that, is that the Mario Cast are the Pinball Wizards. So they created the song Pinball Wizard. Sure plays a mean pinball. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Who Pinball Wizard. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Devin, enter it here. Thank you. Oh wow, something just popped up, but yeah, that's not it. Cell Pro
uh,
thought I was talking to it. No, I was not.
oh no! Please leave us alone.
Go away. We're on our
Uh,
deal.
all right. Anyway, I guess since I don't know if you have finished up with your honorable mention,
Yeah.
but since we are actually talking about honorable mentions, I'll go ahead and mention one of mine.
Okay.
Um, remember when I mentioned my first ever game into the Nintendo world?
Mm-hmm.
My first ever game was Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
Okay.
And that one actually got me started. So I never actually owned an NES before until I recently bought the mini NES, a little
Okay.
console, a while back when they actually released them. Um, but I would always go to a friend of mine's house because we were all good friends, and the parents wanted to hang out and have some time together, and then like the kids were all friends and everything, and they had in their home an NES, and they had Super Mario Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually my first step into like I know that I didn't really play much of the actual game because every time I got into the underground level of World 2, I would always lose because I was that bad when I was a kid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then after that, that would be always the time I got into the actual Mario gaming, and then after that, I became a Nintendo fan from that day on, and I knew I wanted to play more games after that. So, like I said, that was my first ever time into it. That's why I won it as an honorable mention.
Isn't it weird that the games that we thought were so hard when we were younger, we can blast through them now?
Some of them, I will say, yes, you can do that. But I know for me, there are still some games out there that still kick my butt. So,
Yeah, I feel that.
no way.
Yeah,
No way.
I feel that. I definitely need to go back on some of these games just to see how good I can get.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, next, since we're on the topic of Mario, I did have one of them down there for like 7 and 8, but I'm going to move them up now. So
Mhm.
my second one was the Mario Kart series, which was Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah.
I have never played a game that fun in forever, basically. The the pure thought that you can have two characters on one cart where they can do specific roles. One person will throw out the item and they can switch, and the vehicle will get faster depending on what vehicle it is. And who
Mhm.
can control it because they have better control over the vehicle. That is something I've never thought about for the longest. The game,
And
yeah.
didn't they actually have like team names too?
Did they?
I think so. I'd probably have to look it up, but
Team names.
I don't know if it was either that or a different game. But I thought they had team names. Maybe I'm just thinking of a different game.
Maybe. I mean, I know that when the two people are together, they do special when they get a dice block. They get special items when they're together.
Hmm. Maybe I'm thinking of Mario Party because I know Mario Party with playing like I know it was Mario Party 5. I know that this is not really a nostalgia game, but it's a really good one. I really like it. Um, I know that if you play 2v2, like two player teams versus two-player team,
Mm-hmm.
they have like actual team names.
Mm-hmm.
And in Mario Party 4, they actually have a special game which was a beach volleyball game, and it's 2v2, and they actually have team names on there as well, which is actually kind of cool.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I need to look more into that too.
Indeed.
Yeah. So like, I think one of the things that I really liked about Mario Kart Double Dash is it goes back to where we had those problems with my family, and then went into the friend's house. They had that game. Now we played this one for a little bit, and then I found out that they sold it after a while. But then my best friend, I call him my best mate, I went over to his place, and he had it. And I remember one specific time where we stayed up we did not sleep. I tell you not, we did not.
I've had those nights.
Yeah, there's this one, there's this one race, and I was not winning these races because he's good. Obviously, he's played it a lot more than me, but
yeah,
he was good, and he passed me. He was probably, I think, 2 laps ahead of me, and then he was about to hit the finish line, but for some reason, he just decided, you know what? I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna drive and do a donut around. And then he did not know actually that he was the same lap as me. And then here he comes. He sees me coming around. And then he's trying to back up really fast, but nobody backs into someone, gets hit, backs into the wall. He can't get back, and so I hit him. And then I get first, all the way from 12th, first in an instant. And that is my most memorable moment because, hey, he just learned right there that he...
Do you remember what map it was?
It was the Daisy's cruise ship, I believe.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty difficult one. That's a pretty interesting one.
That one was crazy. Sure. Still have problems with it now.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Especially when you fall into the pool, just like in the middle of the racing track and everything. It's great.
It's terrible.
All right. So... So I don't know if I want to continue on to because we're talking about Mario. I don't know if I want to segue into another nostalgia game with either going into the Mario direction or if I want to continue with the racing direction. What do you think?
I guess we could spin a little dice, eh? Let's see.
Spin that dice.
What am I going to spin right here? All right. Here we go. Flip a coin.
Flip a coin, any coin.
It's tails. So racing.
All right, racing. So if we're gonna go into the racing, we're gonna jump into the PS1.
Ooh, okay.
With now, I'm not talking about the remake that just recently came out. I'm talking about the PS1 classic, Crash Team Racing.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, that game is probably one of my all-time favorite nostalgia games of like all time. Like even over like the Boogerman and all those kind of things. Like this is probably one of my favorite games of all time for nostalgic reasons.
Really?
Yes. Crash Bandicoot as an actual character. I'll be actually talking about it a little later down the road with another nostalgic game. But this was the last game Naughty Dog created in the Crash Bandicoot formula before they kind of retired doing Crash Bandicoot and then kind of moved on to other games, which they're still making games nowadays, which is mainly what Uncharted, I think.
Yeah.
But this was their last fray into the actual Crash Bandicoot, and they've never made a racing game in their entire career in development or wise.
Okay.
So they pretty much thrown all the Crash characters into a kart and pretty much you race. But you don't just race in random places. You race in areas that are in the actual Crash actual worlds where you actually go through in the platforming areas. So
right.
It's very memorable being a player of the Crash Bandicoot franchise of the all 3 of the games and being able to actually race through all the tracks and all through the actual platforming areas as whatever character you wanted, or at least the characters that were available at the time. It was really, really cool. And some of the things that Mario Kart, for example, took from Crash Team Racing was like the drifting for turbo boosts. Mario never did that until they saw Crash Bandicoot do it, and then they were just like, "Oh, let's use it for us," because I think their last one before, well, their kart racer before their in the GameCube one was, I think, Mario Kart 64, I believe.
Okay.
And it had a little bit of drifting in it, but it didn't have the drift boost mechanic, and they added that later down the road with CTR.
Okay.
So that's the thing that they actually included later down the road as well. So honestly, and it's got a really cool story behind it. The only thing I didn't really like was the antagonist, which was kind of stupid. So basically, nitrous oxide is the character,
Mm-hmm.
comes to Earth, challenges the Earth creatures to a race, and if you can't beat nitrous oxide, she will turn the Earth into a parking lot.
A parking lot.
Yes,
A parking
a
lot.
parking lot. Yes, a concrete parking lot, you'd see down in like a Chattanooga, like the places you'd park your car, or like Nashville or Atlanta or something like that. Yes, a big concrete parking lot for space people.
That's pretty scary.
It honestly, it's pretty stupid, but I mean, it's they like I said, they just wanted to say voila to the Bandicoots, so they thought it would be really stupid, so people wouldn't like it. So that's why they did that, because they were getting rid of Crash Bandicoot,
And turns out they made a remaster, and everybody still
and
loves
they
it.
and they remastered it. They remastered all three of the Crash Bandicoot games, and just recently did CTR as a remaster. And I've been playing that game ever since its launch date.
Mm.
So I'm very excited to be able to play that game once again. So
Still yet to get it. I need to get it.
you should, and anybody that's listening to this podcast, get CTR. It's really great. They're doing Grand Prix pretty much every month to get like new characters, new skins, new carts, everything. So
Oh,
it's
that's
great.
cool. So they have like a little community thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So I guess
Indeed.
getting into the racing aspect, or technically we could go back to the Mario. So this time I guess you can flip a coin. So racing or Mario aspect. So heads or tails, you pick which one.
I'm gonna go with heads.
Okay. Heads.
I'm gonna say heads is Mario, tails is racing.
All right. Flip a coin.
Heads.
So what was heads?
It was Mario.
Okay, Mario. So back to Mario then. This is actually really this is going to be really fun because this one I lost sleep due to this game.
Uh-oh.
And you're not going to believe actually what game it is when I say it, but Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games
Which one?
for the DS
Oh, the DS version.
because of the story mode.
Ah, yes. Story
Yeah.
modes on those.
Yeah,
You know, I think
ahead.
Sega does a really good job on those games. They really do.
they actually really did. I was really into that DS game. It
Mhm.
was played in a certain way that I didn't think that it could be played before. Of course, you have the like bosses or like different characters were spread out across the map. There were different puzzles that you had to do. I forget the lore of it specifically, but of course, you know, the Winter Games, that's the biggest lore.
I mean, you don't really need to know the lore. Is that you're in the place where the Olympic Games are happening and get the gold. Come on now. That's
Exactly.
all you need to know.
That's all we need to know right there. But
Exactly.
But here's the thing. So I remember specifically when I first got this game. We have this place down here in Tennessee called McKay's.
Oh, I love McKay's.
Yeah, I love it so much, man. You find so many good gems there.
I know.
Yes, I have a
So
steelbook
good.
collection. Off topic, but I have a steelbook collection just because of that. And every steelbook I've got has been at least $1, and it came with
Nice.
the game.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
I think I have Splinter Cell right now. That was my latest.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, but like, so I think the reason why this one holds such a big place into my heart, we randomly went to McKay's. This is when we were starting to go to McKay's.
Mhm.
We went in the McKay's and I found the DS section. I was just like, okay, this is cool. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a random game. I picked a random game. It was Mario Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. Thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, this is gonna be whack, but I'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
I did not stop playing it from the moment I got it.
You're like,
There was this mode on the multiplayer mode that was it's a snowball fight, but you had like tanks. Y'all were on
Nice.
tanks and y'all were shooting snowballs. You'll see a clip right here in a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
your objective was to get the most damage or to stop someone's tank. And it was kind of like a hide and seek kind of thing.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
it was great. Oh,
It almost sounds like a Mario Party game you'd see.
yeah. You talking about the one on the DS?
Well, I mean, it sounds like just a mini game that you'd see just generally in Mario
Oh,
Party.
just in general. Okay, yeah.
Just in general, like I could name like several different like Mario parties that have something like that.
Yeah.
But there's just too many. It's too many.
Yeah, it feels. One of the ones that I was thinking about was Shuttershy on
Yes.
the DS. That one was hilariously and crazy, dude. But yeah,
Nice.
Mario Party. Oh no, Mario and Sonic, the Olympic Winter Games, hold such a big place into my heart because just at the sheer moment of me picking up that random game and actually couldn't stop playing it. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one's a
Well,
really
that
good
works.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.